Hi everyone, it's Abhinav from PhoneBunch and welcome to our full review of the Coolpad Note 3. Now this one comes in at just 8,999 with 3 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of onboard storage, a fingerprint sensor at the back, a 3000 mAh battery, octa-core MediaTek MT6753, 13 and 5 megapixel cameras. So there's a lot of stuff going on here, but let's first talk about the build. On the right you have the power lock and unlock button. It is quite sturdy. At the top, audio jack. On the left you have the volume rocker. Now it is a bit mushy, not that great tactile response here. At the bottom you have the primary microphone and micro USB port. Now I can see this metal trim. Actually there is a steel frame inside this plastic body which gives it great rigidity. At the back you have a 13 megapixel camera, you have that fingerprint sensor, LED flash and noise cancellation mic. The fingerprint sensor really works like a charm. There are 2 separate SIM card slots and a separate micro SD card slot. And you have a 3000 mAh non-removable battery. We'll talk about battery life in detail later on. Overall, the build is very solid on the device. There is no creaking, no bend, no flex anywhere. It's about 9.3 mm in thickness and weighs in at around 170 grams. But for a 5.5 inch device, it really doesn't seem that bulky. Now at the top, you have a notification LED, 5 megapixel front facing camera, along with proximity and light sensors. Just below the display, you have capacitive buttons which don't light up. Now let's come to this display. Now the black borders on the side are a bit distracting, but you do get used to it. The display is probably the weakest point of this device. It has decent viewing angles, good color reproduction, but seems a little bit pixelated. It is 5.5 inches with a 720p resolution, but it just doesn't seem as sharp as the one on the Zenfone 2 laser, and we don't know whether there is some protective layer on top, but yes, it doesn't get scratched easily. Now let's talk about these cameras. So you have a 13 megapixel rear camera with excellent shutter speed. It captures images very quickly. You have some modes available too: HDR, Face Beauty, Panorama and the likes. The front facing camera also captures images quickly and there is good amount of detail there. You can see right there too, beautification mode was on. It actually makes the skin a lot lighter. Now coming to the rear camera samples, these did turn out alright. There's not a lot of detail given that this is a 13 megapixel shooter, but still the images did look good. We have a separate camera review. Do have a look at that. There are a lot of image as well as video samples there. Now let's talk about music playback. So you have these headsets which come within the box. These are serviceable, these are alright. They are not the best for listening to music, but they do get the job done. Now this is the default music player. It's pretty decent. The speakerphone here is decently loud. It's louder than the Zenfone 2 laser and it's actually quite clear as well. Now audio quality from the headset jack was also quite good here. It was loud and FM radio also works out fine, and you have FM recording in stereo available too. Even videos play quite well. We tried out 3GP, MP4, AVI, MKV, all did work out quite fine on this device. Even streaming video over YouTube at 720p works great. There is no lag whatsoever. Alright folks, now let's talk about network and call quality. This is the default dialing interface. You have a notepad which you can access directly from the calling interface. You can even record calls. Now we didn't have any major issues with network or call quality. Both were decent. The speakerphone is loud as well. 4G connectivity was decent. You also have Wi-Fi hotspot, Bluetooth as well as USB tethering available. GPS is also available on the device and it does work out quite fast. You do have a magnetic field sensor which definitely helps. And coming to sensors, these are all that are available here. So you also have a gyroscope, gravity sensor, everything you want on a device. Now let's talk about software. So the Coolpad Note 3 runs on Android 5.1 Lollipop with Cool UI 6 on top. So yes, there is a bit of customization here and there, but it's still quite stock looking. The launcher is definitely different. You have your widget support baked in. You have a quick toggles right up top as well. You can't edit these. And if we go into settings, you can see right there Android 5.1. But we don't know if or when this device would be upgraded to Android Marshmallow. Now you have 16 gigs of internal storage, out of which about 11 odd gigs will be available when you get this device. Apps are movable to the external SD card, but app data was not movable. And you can see right here 1.8 gigs of RAM are free right now. So 3 gigs of RAM goes a long way in multitasking. And now we are playing a video right off the USB disk. It is a 1080p video sample. You can pop out the video player as well. The video player actually has a lot of functionality built in. Now let's talk about the fingerprint sensor. It's absolutely swift. It is very fast and very accurate. There were no false positives throughout my testing. You can use it to unlock your device. You can open up different apps with different fingerprints. So just right there I unlocked the device, and with another fingerprint I opened up the camera app. You also have app lock available too. So you can lock apps with your fingerprint, and only with your fingerprint those apps can be accessed on your smartphone. Very cool stuff and works every single time. Theme support is also baked in, so you can customize your smartphone, change icons and wallpapers all in a single package. Now multitasking is also great on this device. 3 gigs of RAM really helps in that aspect, and you have this multi-window, dual window or split view, whatever you want to call it. Using this you can open up 2 apps at the same time and interact with them. Web browsing was also very smooth, pinch to zoom does work out quite well, and rendering is very fast. And even if I open up different apps as I am doing right now, you can see they are very quick. App load times are superb on this device, games, everything do load up very quickly. And even throughout our gaming review, there was no major lag in the games that we tried. Yes, but this phone did get hot with extended gaming. So that's the only con there, that this one gets warm quickly when you are playing games. But apart from that, in general use, I didn't notice much heating at all. Now there is a long standby mode which can be accessed from the notification shade. It actually does work fine. Not as great as the ultra power saving mode on Samsung devices. Battery life is just about average on this device. I was able to get around 3 to 3.5 hours of screen on time. But then there's the issue of battery drain on Wi-Fi as well as cellular network. It's a bit on the higher side. So folks, that brings us to the end of this review. Overall, the Coolpad Note 3 is a very good device at this price point. The fingerprint sensor, 3 gigs of RAM and good performance are really hallmark of this device. So is it the perfect smartphone under Rs 10,000? Probably not. The display and cameras could have been better, but you have to factor in the price, and for that you are getting a lot of bang for your buck. We'll be back with more, so stay tuned to PhoneBunch. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button. If you have any questions, let us in the comment section, and as always, have a great day.